Hey there, friends. A very happy Sunday to you. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz with a look at your forecast. I'm going to take a deeper dive into the forecast. We're going to talk about the chance for rain and mountain snow returning on Tuesday. And speaking of Tuesday, the total lunar eclipse will occur Tuesday morning. The question is, will we see it? Well, with that incoming system on Tuesday, before that, we're going to have clouds moving in. I'll show you coming up, but let's talk about March averages. Now that we are heading into meteorological spring, so essentially that's March, April, and May. That essentially, if you hear meteorological spring, that is more so for data keeping. So when we're talking about the spring months, we mean March, April, and May. It's just because the equinox and our solstice could occur on different days, as we well know. So with that being said, we're still less than 3 weeks away from the spring equinox. But let's talk about Seattle for today versus the end of the month. 52 is our average high this time of year, but by the end of the month, 56. That's near our forecast high for today. Some good news, we gain an hour and 43 minutes of daylight. This month alone, and March is one of the months where we gain a lot of daylight. Over 100 minutes for much of the northern tier of the continental USA. And watch what happens as we head into April. We're still gaining over an hour and a half of daylight, give or take, close to it. And then as we get closer and closer to the solstice in June, we don't gain as much daylight, but still a lot of daylight here. And then by June, only about 10 minutes. And the same is true for December, as we well know. So we get the biggest changes weather-wise, and then with our daylight on both sides of the equinox, which again, that is going to be March 20th. Also, with our sunset times, by the way, our first 6 o'clock sunset is later this week, March 5th, and then daylight saving officially begins March 8th. We spring forward an hour, and then we have 7 o'clock sunsets. But before you know it, 8 p.m., that will be our first 8 p.m. sunset of the year, April 16th. And then June 2nd, our first 9 o'clock sunset. So lots to look forward to. We can say the big dark is over. Today, tomorrow, we're going to have plenty of sun. We'll have highs in the 50s, pushing 60 degrees for a good chunk of the area on Monday. But as I mentioned, things change as we head into Monday night and into Tuesday. Increasing rain. We'll just have a couple of disturbances moving over the area into the middle half and the second half of the week. So no major temperature swings or anything, but we'll just have rain around at times. Just basically saying, hey, it's still winter and we're still far away from the dry months, which is a good thing, as we well know, because we need to build on our snowpack. We are desperate to build on our snowpack. Thankfully, we have more mountain snow headed our way. But let's talk about today. Hopefully you can get out and enjoy this beautiful morning and then the beautiful afternoon as well. We have wall-to-wall sunshine. And that was after, or this is all after a foggy morning. And I'll show you a couple of cameras, but what's going on right now, and if you joined me yesterday for my extended forecast, I was talking about this low that is spinning over the Pacific, and it's going to continue to move over northern California, so it's going to drift inland, but today it's going to send showers over central Oregon, southern Oregon, all the way into northern California. Yesterday's cloud cover was because of this, but the clouds are generally more to the south of us, but we'll still likely have some high clouds painting the sky, which typically leads to a beautiful sunset and sunrise. So we may have a pretty nice sunset this evening. A look at Queen Anne, or from Queen Anne, looking towards Seattle, and you can see it's still a little foggy out there. You can see a little bit of the mountain, but our Columbia Center tower cam, you can't miss the mountain, taking you above the low clouds and the fog. Just bright as day. Beautiful, beautiful view from here in Seattle looking toward Mount Rainier. And again, you can see some of those high clouds off in the distance. As for Bellingham, just nothing but sunshine, people out and about enjoying the beautiful sunshine. Even up in the mountains, Snoqualmie Pass at Alpental, you see bright blue skies there, people hitting the slopes and enjoying their Sunday fun day up in the mountains. Here's a look at the high temperatures for today. Orcas Island, Anacortes, and just the islands in general in the upper 40s, barely scraping 50 degrees, but interior areas mid 50s to upper 50s for the foothills. Everett 54 degrees, Lake Stevens 55, Monroe 57, Gold Bar about 58, Auburn near 58 as well, Seattle depending on your neighborhood between about 54 and 57 give or take, Maple Valley 57, Snoqualmie Pass going to be in the 40s. For the South Sound and the foothills, we'll have mid and upper 50s. Some of you may flirt with 60 degrees. There is a better chance for that down I-5, and then far southwestern Washington and Centralia about 58 as well. All across the Olympic Peninsula, temperatures, as we well know, will vary, but the coast will be in the 50s to about 60, just a little inland, closer to Forks, 61, and then for Shelton along Hood Canal in the upper 50s. But we're all going to drop into the 30s overnight, low and mid 30s, so there could be a couple of icy spots in the morning if you are waking up and headed to work, especially if you live in the South Sound, Hood Canal, and our typical spots that may drop at and below freezing, but look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the warmest day except for the coast. The coast will likely be a little cooler as we start to get the return of onshore winds, but still going to be above normal, if not near normal. So mid and upper 50s to lower 60s, highs in the lower 60s for the South Sound. That means the foothills likely going to warm at least into the lower 60s, if not the mid 60s. So here's a look at the futurecast. Here's later today, and you see some of those high clouds from that system over Oregon and California. Then we get into tomorrow morning, maybe some morning clouds, also the chance for a couple of sprinkles closer to the coast. But tomorrow's going to be a nice day as well. But here we go. This is into Monday night and into Tuesday morning. That system's going to approach the area, and before that's going to spread clouds over the area. And I stopped the clock at 4 a.m. Tuesday just to show that there's that potential with the maximum total lunar eclipse, even heading into, which I'll break it down, even into the partial eclipse, may be obstructed by the clouds. Fingers crossed that the system slows down a little bit, because rain will spread over the area more than likely Tuesday morning. Spotty, but becoming more widespread for your evening commute. You see widespread rain, possibly some pockets of moderate to heavy rain, and then we'll have lowering snow levels up in the mountains. So snow levels are going to be about 4,500 feet to 5,000 feet to start, but then they'll drop as we head into the middle half of the week. So here's a look at the forecast, breaking it down once all of that rain returns. You see no major temperature swings. Our mornings will be a little on the mild side, and our days will be close to normal. The coolest day for now looks to be on Thursday. Let's pick the futurecast back up into Wednesday and into Thursday, just showing you how we'll just get wave after wave, and you can see how these disturbances ride that ridge, and so it's going to either clip our area or just brush by the area, and so we will get waves of rain at times through next weekend. Through next Saturday, this is just an estimate, but showing the potential for Puget Sound about 3/4 of an inch, maybe up to 1.5 inches, and except for the rain shadow. So some spots may be less than 1 inch, but closer to the coast, 1 to 3 inches. Let's talk about those snow levels. Today, tomorrow, freezing level snow levels going to be on the high side, and then Tuesday going to be 4,500 feet to about 5,000 feet, dropping down to pass level Thursday and Friday, but then coming above pass level by next Saturday perhaps. And this is also just one computer model, and this is going out 6 days. So with that being said, a lot could change between now and then, but this just gives us a guidance of how much snow we could expect, perhaps maybe 4 to 8 inches at Snoqualmie Pass, higher maybe at Stevens Pass, just the higher elevation. But as always, Mount Baker likely going to get more. But you see, it's not substantial, but anything at this point will help. Looking ahead, as I mentioned, daylight saving begins on March 8th, spring forward, and then the equinox, 7:46 a.m. on March 20th, the total lunar eclipse. Let's talk about it because it's going to occur Tuesday morning. So Monday night, Tuesday morning, not Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. The partial eclipse begins at 1:50 a.m. Pacific time. This is when you'll look at the moon and it starts to darken a little bit, and then eventually it looks as though a bite has been taken out of the moon. But then we get to the total eclipse, 3:04 a.m., and then it ends at 4:02 a.m. This is when the moon will have that orange, coppery, reddish hue to it, and then by the end of it, 5:17 a.m., the partial eclipse ends. I do think as we get closer to sunrise and the pre-dawn hours, the chance of seeing it will subside because of more clouds, more rain in place. So again, fingers crossed, we can see some breaks in the clouds or the clouds hold off and the rain, but it's not looking in our favor. But again, we'll be able to fine tune the forecast as we get a little closer. So to wrap things up, highs today, mid and upper 50s to about 60, pretty much everywhere except the islands and right along the water. On Monday, 58 degrees, and then Tuesday all the way through the end of the week, we'll just have those waves of showers, breezy at times as well. And then next weekend, we'll have showers, mostly cloudy skies. Again, no major temperature swings. Beyond the 7-day forecast and into the middle half of the month, you see how temperatures just go up and down, up and down. No major signs of any significant cool downs. This would be more seasonal, if anything. Remember, you can always find the latest forecast and the extended forecast on King 5 Plus, king5.com, on our app as well. You may even watch this on YouTube. You can check back in with Leah tonight and Rich in the morning. Enjoy your day.